Hey guys, what's going on? I thought I'd do a real quick video because I've had quite an influx of questions with regards to the vibrations on this bike shortly after I posted the first video. A couple on YouTube, but majority on Facebook. So I thought rather than trying to reply to everybody's messages, I'll just do a quick vid explaining it, if it's there, how bad it is. So stay tuned, stick around, and we'll chat about it in a sec. Answer your questions on does this bike have a vibration issue. The answer to that is yes, it does have vibrations. Is it bad? No. Is it bad enough to stop you from buying this bike? No. I made the mistake of, before getting this bike, I made the mistake of watching too many of the reviews on this bike because I'd heard about the vibration issue myself, and I watched too many videos about it. So the first test ride that I went out on, I was already searching for the vibrations, and that was probably a bad thing to do. So when I then found the vibrations, or when I noticed them, that was me then cut off. I was like, yep, they're there, I'm not going to buy it. So I've kind of like contradicted myself in some respects. But that was in November last year, and since then I've been test riding a load of other different bikes, and I couldn't get this out of my head, this bike, because it's so good. So I took another 2 different bikes out. I test rode 2 different bikes, and I extra wanted different bikes to see if the vibrations was an issue, because I'd written to some people on forums. Some guys had said I don't get vibrations on my bikes. Some said yes, some said you get it in the bars, the foot pegs and the seat. Now it's only there on the right hand side on your throttle hand, and it's only noticeable in dynamic or dynamic pro mode. In rain or road mode it's less, but you can still tell it's there. But it all depends on how finely tuned your senses are to that sort of thing. Not to say that guys had said that there aren't any vibrations, not that they, you know, have no experience or they don't know what they're talking about. That's not what I'm trying to say. It depends, you know, how as I said, how finely tuned you are to things such as that. So my advice would be is to take the bike out yourself and see for yourself if it would annoy you or not. Now it's only, the vibrations are only there at around 5,500 revs, and when you stay constant at 5,500, so up to 5,000 and through 5.5, up to 6, through to 7, you won't notice it. It's only when you're sort of chilling, and 5,500 revs on this bike, you're doing about 130 k's an hour. So if you're chilling on the motorway for that amount of time, it may get annoying, but you've got a cruise control, slap the cruise control on, and you can sort of let go of the bar slightly. It depends, everyone's different. Some people it'll annoy, some people it won't. So that would be my advice, is to take it out yourself and try it. There was a guy that had written me a message, and he said that he owns the S1000XR, and that bike also has slight vibrations. So for him, the answer to your question, I don't think you'd have an issue with this bike either, if you're kind of used to that. Now, coming from my Tiger Sport, which had no vibrations whatsoever, I could notice it. But as I said, you can work around it, you know, as long as you know it's there. The rest of the bike is so amazing that you kind of just forget about it after. And although my first test ride, you know, I then said, oh, I notice it vibrates, I'm not going to get it, that'll annoy me. But as I said, I couldn't get the bike out of my head, so I took 2 different bikes out. So in three S1000XRs altogether, and they all had it. So yeah, as I said, some people said they find it in the seat as well, but I haven't had any of that. It is noticeable in the pegs as well, but that's only when you get up to around 180 kilometers an hour. And oh my, somebody shit on the road. Up to 180 and above, you get slight vibration in the pegs. But you know, when, especially you guys in the UK, when are you going to be using that speed? You know, you're not going to. I mean, here I do more often because of on certain parts of the autobahn you can ride that fast, but I do it rarely as well. You know, you might, once the bikes are broken in, I always do it just to see how fast you can get them up to. So that's not an issue for me either, top end sort of speed or vibration speeds. So when I notice the vibrations there around 5,500, if I'm at cruising speed and I notice at 5.5, I'm up to 5,500, I notice vibrations in the throttle hand, then either I go slightly faster or I go slightly slower. I know it's probably for you guys in the UK to then go slightly faster, you're going to be then breaking the speed limit on the motorways more often than not. I don't have that issue, so I can go faster. So you guys maybe you'll have to slightly go off the throttle, but you know, it's not a cruisy bike, you know, it's a sports bike. I just wave to a scooter. It's you know, and you want to ride it like one, you know, with the quick shifter and down blipper. You don't want to chill out at one speed, you know, unless you're a pure highway muncher or motorway or autobahn, whatever you want to call it. If you're just purely a motorway mileage muncher, then you know, it may become an issue for you guys. But as I said, take the bike out and don't look into too much on the reviews like I did. Although obviously a lot of you guys that have already asked me haven't been out on a test ride yet, so you guys are going to be looking for it as well. But it's really not an issue. So that is my honest opinion about it. It definitely has vibrations, and as I said, I searched around for ages before I got on the bike for somebody to give me an honest opinion. And I think some guys that owned it, you could sort of tell that they knew it was there but didn't want to admit it, so gave you a kind of a false answer. Some guys, you know, said it has them, but I have been told there are ways to make it less, you know, if you find it annoying. Some guys put some heavier bar ends, some weights on the bars that then lessen it. Or you can get the dampeners, like it's a rod. It's like a rod that you push feed through your handlebar. That helps it, but for me, it's not. I'm not going to be doing anything with it. Some have said it goes after you've run the bike in. You know, after a certain amount of mileage when the bike's fully running, it disappears. But on the 3 bikes I tested a relatively new one, only had maybe 200 k's on the clock. One that had about 700-800 k's, and then I wanted to get on the third one, which is the black one I rode, which had 2,500 to 3,000, I think. So that was fully running, and it still had it the same as the new bike. So I don't think that's my opinion. I don't think that even after you've run the bike in that it disappears, but yeah, you can rectify it slightly with heavier bar ends if it was to annoy you. So there you go. I hope that answers most of your questions. If I've missed anything, then drop me a comment in the comment sections below, and hopefully that sort of answered most of your queries about it. Click the subscribe button here if you haven't already done so, and I'll catch you next time. Just a quick one to add, nothing to do with vibrations, I thought I'd do it while I'm out, is that the turning circle on this thing is ridiculously good. I mean, the bars, they'll turn so far before they actually get to full lock. I mean, look at the state of that. I'll just demonstrate it now, just out of interest. So we'll just go barely at walking pace. It's ridiculously good. Do that on a sports bike, no chance. I can probably get it even tighter. I'm not even on full lock because I don't want to fall off. There you go, there's full lock. There you go, just out of interest, I was amazed